Now guys, I'm out here sandblasting some parts for the Chevrolet Cummins project, and that up there on top is the gear cover, and then these here, of course, the valve covers. So anyhow, I'm going to go back and polish these valve covers out. I only had some 220 grit sandpaper, so I just wanted to see how one was going to turn out. And like I said, this is with 220 grit sandpaper, and of course I went back and polished it out from there. So I need to get some 2000 grit sandpaper to get these valve covers looking like a mirror. So that's about what it looks like with, like I said, 220 grit sandpaper, guys. So anyhow, now here's a few more parts of sandblasted up, and that exhaust manifold, that thing sure sandblasted out really nice. Yeah, that sandblaster does a pretty good job. That was some pretty nasty surface rust on that thing. Well, I'm going to blast this water inlet connection here next. I figure I'd show you guys what it looks like. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's going to be here in about 5 minutes. Now here's the water inlet connection for that Cummins, and it sure cleaned up real nice. Just took about a minute or two to do it here, but anyway, yeah, sandblasted up real good. That's what it looks like, guys. I'm going to blast this little intake here next. I figured I'd show you what it looks like here before and after. So anyway, well guys, here's what the intake looks like after I got it sandblasted up here, and got the motor mount sandblasted up. So there's been a few people ask me what color I'm going to paint this motor, and I'm going to go black with this Cummins here and then do the polished aluminum valve covers on it. So anyway guys, I was sandblasting on this oil pan, and these dents here I didn't care for very much, and I figured, well, I could knock the dents out of the bottom of it. And there's one other dent, little dent up there in the front. That didn't concern me too much. I got to the inside of the pan, and this is a sheet metal that I've rolled up here. So underneath the sheet metal, it doesn't look very pretty. So what I'm going to do is buy a brand new oil pan. I'm not for sure what they run yet, haven't priced it, but I'm definitely going to buy a new oil pan that I don't have to worry about the dents or anything. So as you can see, well, right here, maybe you can see it, the oil pickup screen has been pushed up against the pan for a little while, which the pickup screen's pretty big, so it's still getting plenty of oil to the motor. And I did check the oil pressure on this truck before I pulled this motor, and it had good oil pressure. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and buy a new pan, guys. Well guys, one of the other things that I'm going to do to this Cummins build here is take this cylinder head to the machine shop up to Weatherford Machine Works in Weatherford, Oklahoma, and have them do the overhead on this Cummins here. I'm going to have them resurface the head and regrind the valves and freshen this motor up, new valve stem seals and a few things like that. Since I'm into it this far here, I'm going to go ahead and for sure do the overhead on it. And I got to get the 60-pound valve springs to handle that 3,800 RPM govern spring, so it'll get new valve springs too. Well guys, I can't leave well enough alone. I got the injectors out of the head, and I was getting ready to take this thing to the machine shop tomorrow and get the valves reground and the head resurfaced and all that good stuff. And I figured I was going to call it good there. Well, I made it closer to the motor, and I took the tappets out of the motor here, and a couple of the tappets have pitting on the bottom of them. So, and these here are the tappets, and there's a couple that were pitted on the bottom. So I decided, well, I'm going to have the camshaft and the tappets reground. So after I got that far, I made it over to the rod bearings. So I went on ahead and pulled the pistons and the rods out. And the rod bearings are completely shot in this motor. The best part about everything about the pistons is the pistons are forged. So having a forged piston makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about this motor here. And they're dirty, of course, but there's no scarring in the pistons. There's maybe one or two little bitty marks in the skirt of the pistons, but that's it. And most of them don't even have a mark on the skirts. There's only one that had a mark in the skirt that I kind of questioned a little bit. And I don't know if you can see it, guys, but right there on the right in the center, there's one spot where it's scarred, like a piece of trash or dirt. Something got in there and scarred it. So I don't know, I might end up having new pistons put in this motor and then going ahead and having the block board and all that. I'll see what the machine shop has to say about that. But for the most part, the pistons look really nice. So I might end up getting away with honing the cylinders and then put new rings in. But we'll find out tomorrow. Anyhow, over here at the motor now, the main bearings, guys. I busted all the main caps loose, and the bearings are absolutely trashed. They've got a lot of scarring in the bearings. I'm pretty sure that crankshaft is going to be able to be polished out, and this here is your crankshaft. So anyhow, I might be able to get away with just polishing this crankshaft out. I don't see any deep grooves in the crankshaft, because I did take all the caps off and spun the crankshaft and looked down at the crankshaft to make sure there wasn't any scarring. So anyhow, I'm going to get inside here and I'm going to take a better video of the rod main bearings and kind of show you guys what they look like. It's not pretty, but one thing about it, this motor is going to be a good motor after it's done, because it's going to be getting new rods and mains and maybe even new pistons and a bore. So this might end up turning into a complete overhaul. Well guys, I got the Cummins all loaded up and everything, and I guess I'm about ready to go inside and get my ass chewed on for a little while. I loaded this Cummins up in the back of my wife's Jeep. I already know she's going to be pretty mad about this, but I guess it's always easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission sometimes. What the heck? That was a swimming pool. Anyway guys, so I guess I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching.